Good afternoon, brothers and sisters, and welcome to another Terrace Talk. And I hope that this is going to be something interesting. The topic today is called Hard-Hearted. And I just want to go through the basic understanding, then I'll explain why. So bear with me. In the Hebrew, the hard-hearted word says strong, usually in a bad sense, hard, bold, violent, harder, hottest, impudent, loud, mighty, sore, stiff-necked, stronger, severe, churlish, cruel, grievous, heavy, and impudent, obstinate, prevailed, rough, roughly, sore, sorrowful, stiff-necked, stubborn, and in trouble. Pretty heavy words there, and this is an interesting topic. Let's go on with the scripture in Matthew 13:15 tells us, "For the hearts of the people are hardened, and their ears cannot hear, and they have closed their eyes, so their eyes cannot see, and ears cannot hear, and hearts cannot understand, and they cannot turn to me and let me heal them." Yahusha wants to heal everyone, and yet they won't turn to him, and this is the state of the hearts of the people. In Ephesians, it tells us they are darkened in their understanding, alienated from the life of Elohim because of the ignorance that is in them, due to their hardness of heart. So it's got a lot to do with opening up to Yahusha, with opening up to his word, to giving in to his word. They're ignorant. They're not knowing him. Hebrews 3 says, "As it is said, today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts as in the rebellion." And in Jeremiah, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Who can understand it?" You hear so many people say, "Oh, she's a good person, I'm a good person, they're good people, they never do anything wrong." Well, the heart is desperately wicked and sick. Hebrews 3:8, "Do not harden your hearts as in the rebellion on the day of testing in the wilderness." And also Pharaoh's heart was hardened also. Hebrews 4:12, "For the word of Elohim is living and active, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing to the division of soul and of spirit, of joints and of marrow, and discerning the thoughts and intentions of the heart." His word is living, it's alive, and it separates the truth from lies. It divides and separates. In Romans 2, "But because of your hard and impenitent heart, you are storing up wrath for yourself on the day of wrath, when Yahusha's righteous judgment will be revealed." Let's get clean of all that wrath, that anger, that anything that's in there, so that we don't have to face Yahusha on the day of judgment. In John 12, it tells us, "He has blinded their eyes and hardened their hearts, lest they see with their eyes and understand with their heart and turn, and I would heal them." Ezekiel 11, "I will give them one heart and a new spirit I will put within them. I will remove the heart of stone from their flesh and give them a heart of flesh." A heart that feels, a heart that's sensitive, and that they may walk in my statutes and keep my rules and obey them. And they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim. But as for those whose heart goes after their detestable thing and their abominations, I will bring their deeds upon their own heads, declares Elohim. You see the consequences in the world, and people can't understand why all these things happen. They don't even look, they don't see. Proverbs 17, a man of crooked heart does not discover good, and one with a dishonest tongue falls into calamity. In Corinthians, for Yahusha said, let light shine out of darkness, has shone in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the esteem, the glory of Elohim in the face of Yahusha Messiah. So it's only his light that has shown us and woke us up to what is really the truth. In Mark 16, afterwards he appeared to the 11 themselves as they were reclining at table and rebuked them for their unbelief and hardness of heart, because they had not believed those who saw him after he had risen. And also in Acts, you stiff-necked people, uncircumcised in heart and ears, you always resist the Spirit. As your fathers did, so do you. And one more scripture in Mark, and he looked around at them with anger, grieved at their hardness of heart, and said to them, stretch out your hand. He stretched out his hand, and the hand was restored. He healed them, and they didn't believe. They wouldn't believe. They had hard hearts. So not believing is a hard heart. So that's very interesting. All those scriptures bring the truth, bring the reality of what this topic is about today. And the topic came to me today with an example as we were getting ready this morning in the kitchen, and I was making some coffees and I was watching TV across the lounge room, and my husband was there watching YouTube and watching the results of the US election and seeing all the different post-election meltdown. It was horrendous. There was so much going on. There's so much anxiety and emotion and everything going on in that country. And it was showing TikTok, Instagram, all the different things that people were putting up, and they were showing the result and the reaction of the election results. And there were multiple young girls in their bedrooms crying, distraught, overwhelmed, traumatized, full of anxiety, not knowing what to do. And I was watching this. They couldn't get over their feelings of what had happened in the elections. And as I was watching it from the kitchen, I had a comment and I yelled out, all these young girls are excited and they're just clicking up. They're clicking up their numbers for their influence audience just to get famous. They're making these statements, and I just had this opinion. I just said they're just wanting to be acknowledged, wanting to be recognized, and they're clicking on wanting to show what they're going through just for fame, just online, so that they get more clicks and more covers on Instagram. And my husband didn't respond. So I just went on, and over an hour later, and after we'd had breakfast, the YouTube stories were still being covered and repeated and again, and I wanted to confirm my opinion. I had it still in me because I was not happy because my husband never responded, and I felt that urge that I've got to get this message across. I've got to have an opinion. So I repeated what I thought. These young girls, I said, were just faking and acting and wanting attention online and being miserable, crying for popularity. And they want to rake up more hits and get to another level. And that was my opinion. That's what I said. And then my husband did respond, and he said, "That's the second time you've said that, and I didn't respond the first time." And I went, "Uh-oh." And he said, I thought, well, that's my opinion. Yeah, I was just having an opinion. This is what I see. This is what's happening. And it was over and over again. There's so many shows showing all this. There was so many topics going on. And he said, "Do you think that's a hard attitude when you look at what's really happening?" All over the news, they're saying people are having mental breakdowns and they don't know how to handle it, especially young people, just from the election results. Wow, this is insane. But because of the intensity of what's going on in that country, and how they feel about everything, and the intense emotion that's been going on, they were having meltdowns. They were grieved, totally grieved inside themselves. Young people mainly. And my heart just crashed when I was listening to how my husband felt and hearing his compassion and his care and his understanding and love for these poor people, because they haven't got a way out. They don't know what to do. They haven't got a way out. They don't know how to handle it. And I just dropped inside myself. My heart just dropped, and I just felt, whoa. I just crashed and thought, what am I doing? Look at myself. Look at what I'm saying. Look at how I'm being. What's this going on? I'm having opinions and being just hard about this. And then I thought, that's so hard, I wasn't even taking it serious. Because then came on a mother. There was a mother that came on with her young children, 4 5-year-old children, and the children were in tears. Oh my goodness. This was just crazy. I was just looking at it with different eyes after my husband had said, this is serious. They're going through this. This is what people are really going through. And I came to see, after struggling and crashing and upset in my heart, I came to see my hard-hearted attitude towards all these poor people. And I realised, wow, I just felt, whoa, this is really sad. This is very sad. My heart just dropped, and I could see the sort of thing I was putting out, my opinion. So what was in my heart came out, and this is my opinion. This is how I've been. And I think also a lot more than just about this topic, but I'm looking then in my whole life and in how I treat people and how I look at things. A lot of it's black and white, right or wrong, and there's no room for any understanding there. So this is something I'm coming into, and it's very sad, the state I've been in. This is what I had to face, and I saw it and I could see. And then after sitting there for a while, I was thinking, it reminded me of Yahusha's compassion. And that's enough to melt your heart. And I just thought, wow, Yahusha's compassion and understanding, and how I've been treated by him. And I could see my husband's love and compassion and understanding, and how he saw it and gave me the understanding. So that this is something Yahusha says, create in me a clean heart, renew a right spirit in me. And this is what he's done, is renewing that spirit. The clean heart, the right spirit. walk in a manner worthy of our calling. We've got to be humble and gentle, have patience, kindness, and bear one another's burdens. All these poor people are having a traumatic time. And I thought, how weak are people going to this length of being this miserable? How weak are you? This was my mind. And Yahusha's come in and crashed that down and thought, no, you're the one that's wrong. You're hard. And I could see I was hard in my heart, that hard-heartedness. Very, very revolting. The aim of our change is to love one another, that issues that comes through from a pure heart and a good conscience, having that good conscience. We have to encourage each other daily that no one will be hardened by that deceitfulness that comes in through sin, through different areas, such deceitfulness in the world and in little thoughts that pop in, and you lift yourself up and you think I wouldn't go to those lengths, I wouldn't be miserable, I wouldn't, fall down, but golly, yeah, if I was in that situation, I think I would be in a miserable state, but only I have Yahusha, and you can lift yourself up on having Yahusha and thinking, no, I've got Yahusha, I don't need to go there. But Yahusha says he's taken out that heart of stone and given us a heart of flesh, of feeling, of sensitivity. He wants that sensitivity to be there all the time towards people. If we don't counter the lies that we hear with truth, our hearts will grow hard. So that's very important, not to let lies come in. The hard heart is when we stop having kind or friendly feelings for someone or caring about something and become cynical. And that's what I was, just in having a cynical opinion and not caring. Very cruel. And I just want to say, I'm going to do another video, and that's about compassion, because this is where I want to go. But that's for my next video, so tune in, and thank you for listening, and hope you have a great day in love with Yahusha. Bye for now.
Yahusha comes in us, and we are made alive. We get a divine operation. Our old heart and spirit is replaced with new ones. A portal connects us to his throne. A seed of heaven planted, and we must water it. We all love to read his living word. Using correct context and knowing Hebrews 12, we enter the abstract to his reign. In his reign, in his reign, in his reign. 3 rules catapulting me, finally I see. In his reign, coming to maturity, I am in his reign. All the feasts were given as shadows to behave. We can celebrate our redemption as we put the 3 rules to every thought that comes. We are fast-tracked to his favored love. signs are here now, the end is drawing near. Yahusha will come to claim his bride. She'll be bright and shining, a loving sacrifice.